I bet you that probably everyone watching this video knows about the Titanic and what it was. However, I'm about to tell you 5 Titanic myths that'll probably change your opinion on the entire story. This one's a relatively simple theory. We all think of the Titanic as being this huge ship that at the time was called unsinkable. However, it is not known by many people that the ship was actually not claimed as such. Ships such as the Kaiser Wilhelm de Gross, Mauretania, and Lusitania were all claimed to be unsinkable. And well, two out of the 3 of those ended up sinking. So yeah, it's probably just bad karma to name a ship that. In fact, that's actually also what the Andrea Doria and Costa Concordia were called. However, the White Star Line did claim that the ship was as safe as a ship could be, but not as exactly unsinkable. Saying a ship is as safe as it can be, it is not saying that it can't sink. It's just saying that, well, exactly that. It's as safe as they can make it. It's widely accepted that as the Titanic went down, the band played the song Near My God to Thee as it went down. The song was soothing and peaceful, and just what you could imagine for the last moments of a ship. However, the people that said that were the ones that got on in lifeboats early. One of the surviving officers, Harold Bride, reported that they played the song Autumn as the ship went down. That was the last song he heard them play before he got crushed by a lifeboat. Most highly educated Titanic fans would attribute the fame of this song to probably A Night to Remember. However, less educated people probably would say they heard of the song because of James Cameron's Titanic. Real quick before we get into this theory, I wanted to say that Titanic Animations has made a video on this and another theory coming up, and so if you want to get more in depth about this theory, then just search up Titanic Animations and you'll find it. Anyways, I'm just going to get this theory out of the way quickly. People claim that the Titanic sank because of a coal fire that weakened her metal, therefore when it hit the iceberg, the metal easily punctured. However, fires at sea were a normal thing, and actually, a day prior to the ship hitting the iceberg, the fire was extinguished, which would have left enough time for the metal to cool off. In the 1997 James Cameron film, as the ship was sinking, a man hit the propeller with a loud smack, creating one of the most memorable scenes in movie history. However, this is just not true, and there's no evidence to suggest this happened because pretty much no one that was on the ship during the final plunge survived, and those in the lifeboats wouldn't be able to see him due to the fact that it was so dark out there. In fact, most people said that they didn't even see the ship break up, and that's why Raise the Titanic had it in one piece. Come to think of it, it seems James Cameron's film may have made a great movie, but it also caused a lot of misinformation. When I first came upon this theory, I was really confused why it said third mystery ship. I did not know what the heck the second one would be, but I just assumed that would maybe be the Carpathia. And by the way, when I say third mystery ship, I don't mean the Mount Temple, even though that ship does deserve its own video, and pretty much no one ever talks about that ship. Even the Californian gets more attention than the Mount Temple, and all it did was ignore the Titanic's distress call. I'm talking about a Norwegian whaler called the Samson. It was out there trying to hunt whales because of the icebergs floating down the Atlantic, and its radio operator had also gone to bed. It actually could have reached the Titanic in an hour, according to a study. That ship later went to the North Pole and became very famous, but whatever, we're talking about the Titanic. Alright, time to introduce the theory that makes everyone scream. Aaron 1912, quite a little while ago, released some videos saying that he believed the Titanic broke apart in a V-break. However, I'm going to explain the simple reason why this is complete baloney. As you can see, this is a little diagram of the ship sinking here. His thing proposes that when the Titanic broke, there was still buoyancy in the bow, and so it stuck up. But as you can see, there's so much water in the bow versus the stern that that when it broke, the bow just sank to the bottom. Yes, there would be air inside the bow from the rapidly depleting sources, but not enough for it to make it just shoot at the top. And the V-brake theory also suggests that even when the Titanic broke, the funnels stayed on for quite a bit and broke off when it was going down. I don't believe any part of this theory, and Aaron 1912 ended up getting a lot of hate. While I don't personally endorse all the hate, I will say he does kind of deserve it a little bit for creating tons more channels just to prove his theory. Once again, if you want to look more into this, here are the Titanic animations videos. Now I bring up the fact of Titanic myths. Well, one, I'm hard-pressed for video ideas, and I'm trying to ignore my responsibilities on making my next documentary. But as well as that, I'm reading Raise the Titanic by Clive Cussler. And I heard that they didn't play Near My God to Thee at the end, and that was just a myth. I won't spoil what part I'm on, just in case you want to read the book for yourselves, but still. And then I searched it up to see if it was true, and then it led me down a rabbit hole, and then brought me back to Aaron 1912. Will people continue to be uneducated about the Titanic? Probably. Will people continue making up lies about the Titanic? Probably. And how long will I avoid my responsibilities of the Titanic documentary? That's a really good question.